our next series of opening bids is going to be one spade or one heart. Now, first of all, what did I say about what kind of hand do you have to open? You must open 13. 13 points.
And 5.
Yeah. And then you'll find as your play improves, you can also start getting away with weaker opening bids. So, as you get better, you may experiment with some 12-point opening hands, even 11, and sometimes even 10 points. But for now, 13 points. Remember, if you have 13 and your partner has 13, somebody has to open, or else you're not going to bid anything. So one spade and one heart. This idea developed, it's now called Standard American. It's called 5-card majors. And it wasn't standard before like the 80s, but it is standard now. When we open one spade or one heart, we are promising a 5-card suit. In other countries, they still only promise 4, but standard American bidding is a 5-card major system. When we open one spade or one heart, we promise 5 cards, and we show about 13 to 21 points. With 22 or more, there's a special bid. I'll let you know what it is. It's not going to come up for a while. If you have a really, really strong hand, you can open 2 clubs. That's a special bid. Opening bid says, I just have a monster hand. Doesn't say anything else about your hand except that you have a big one.
Regardless of what suit is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a special bid that we set aside to say, to handle, I just have, I basically can make a game by myself.
Yeah, don't do anything. Don't get in my way.
Yeah.
Do like this now.
So this promises 5 cards, and we're also going to talk about responders' first priority. Remember, whenever the auction starts after the first bid, everybody has a role to play. And if it goes past over here, this is the dealer, and we bid 1 spade, we are, for the rest of the auction, we are known as the opener, and our partner is known as the responder. And in fact, we won't talk about this until week 5 or 6. If somebody else bids, now we have an opener, a responder. This is called an overcall. So this is the overcaller, and overcaller's partner is known as the advancer. You don't have to remember that word. We'll discuss why they're called that later. But right now we just have opener and responder. The hands that you're playing are designed to not be competitive yet. So one side is expected to pass the whole time. Opener, responder. So responder's first priority any guesses what your first priority would be?
See if you have 3 cards in the suit.
Yes.
Support.
Because we have a conversation of bidding, and we're always trying to decide where we belong, what suit, and what is our golden fit, 8-card major. So if our partner has promised 5, and we have 3, we've answered one question already. We need to let our partner know the good news.
And how do we let them know?
So through support means
Okay.
3 cards.
Or more. Suit, yeah.
So how do you think we would support partner?
With a 2.
Raise it 1.
Raise it 1. We don't necessarily have to raise it 1. We can just raise it 1, 2, or 3. We can even raise all the way to 6 if our hand is that good. But right now we're just going to talk about 2. I'm going to abbreviate this as a capital M. That just means, that's short for major, and it's just whatever suit partner bid.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about the auction one of a major, two of a major, two of the same major. Or 3 of the same suit, or 4 of the same suit. 5 and 6 might have special meanings. We're not going to go into that right now. Those would be slam-oriented bids. So these are our main ways of supporting partner. Now, just like when we talked about our responses to One No Trump, we're going to talk about our responses to One Heart, in kind of the same kind of idea. But we're going to pretend that 20 and 21 points are very rare. So we're going to say effectively, for purposes of choosing our response, it's going to be about 13 to 19 points. So let's start with 2 of the major. Well, let's start with the pass. You could also support partner by passing, and that ends the auction. If we ignore the possibility of 20 or 21 points, how many points could we have opposite 13 and 19 to be absolutely sure that there is no game in sight?
Up to 7? Wait, 6?
6.
5. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
What is game? Game is 26. Yeah.
Yeah, game is 26. So if we have 6 points, that makes our total 19 to 25. All below the 26-point mandatory game. Or, I'm sorry, 0 to 5. I'm going to call this. So if we have 5 points, we want to avoid the game. If we have 6 or more points, game is a possibility. Partner might have 19 or 20 plus our 6. So let's go ahead and put pass in here. Okay. So in general, you're only going to pass if you have 0 to 5 points. Which is pretty rare. You're almost always going to respond. So we're going to make that a rule. Your partner opens one of a suit, and you have 6 or more points, you must respond. You must make some sort of bid. Right now, we're assuming you have support. Let's look at the other end of the spectrum. How many points do you need to be absolutely sure you belong in a game?
26.
13. Yeah, 13. Partners promised at least 13. If you also have at least 13, then you belong in a game. Now, we'll look, as you play bridge for a while, you'll learn more sophisticated ways of bidding. But for now, if your partner opens 1 spade, you have 3 spades and 13 points, just bid 4 spades.
Just make that jump.
Yep. Okay. There are better ways, but this is bridge basics, not bridge advanced. Okay. What kind of point range do we need to, well, we have 2 of a major, 3 of a major, and these are going to fall into a 6-2-12 range. And let's see, that's a total of 8 possible point values. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7. 7 possible point ranges. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to split this in half. 2 of a major is going to be weaker and 3 of a major is going to be stronger. So we're going to bid 3 of a suit to say we have 10, 11, or 12 points. We have almost enough for a game. Partner, if you just have a little bit more, just a couple points, go on. And if you just barely opened and you're ashamed of your hand, you're allowed to pass. This one says, partner, I'm participating in the auction, but I'm not really that interested. This is like when your spouse wants to take you on an activity that you're not really into. You go along with it, but you're not that into it. So you're just saying, I have enough to respond, but don't expect much from me. This one says, I really would like to be in a game, I just don't quite have it. So, and this is going to be a principle that we can use a lot in determining more complicated auctions meetings. And anytime we have about 23 points known between our partner and ourselves, we have enough to usually to invite or to go to 2 no trump or 3 hearts or 3 spades. Usually we don't want to get to 2 no trump if we have less than 23 points. Remember that, because that'll come up again in a little bit. So here, 10, our partner's promised 13, we have 10, we have enough to get to 3. And the partner has just a little bit more to bump us up, then we'll want to bid the game.